All right, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're checking out this video. All right, we're into week 5. We'll talk about the content there a little bit. So I've got good news and bad news for you. Let's start out with the bad news. So I've seen a noticeable drop off in the quality of posts, especially follow-up posts on our discussion boards over the last week and a half. Just to give a couple examples here from our module 8 with innovation and change. So we had major, of course, read the text, and then I asked you to take a look at the Steven Johnson video as far as where good ideas come from. Of course, you want innovation. You got to have good ideas to implement. And second, I asked you to check out TerraCycle. So on the discussion board, point of interest discussion board for the module, there was actually very little discussion of Steven Johnson or TerraCycle. People went off in different directions. So that implies to me that perhaps you didn't spend sufficient time in reviewing that material, and that's not good. You remember back the idea with the discussion boards is A players like to work with other A players. And if you're not doing A work, then it's my job to step in and ensure that you do A work or the consequences for not doing A work. So I'm not going to threaten people with an intro video on such a fine morning, but work on the discussion boards needs to significantly improve, at least if you're trying to get an A for the class. So enough said about that. I think I've got my message across. Next, we are getting into, of course, week 5. This is the good news, is that we have fantastic material to cover this week. Especially, I think, Module 9, Chapter 9, is a key area for managers to understand, know about. Here we're jumping from a focus on whatever we've had before, things like organizational phenomena such as change and innovation, to individual level phenomena. So I have to kind of change levels, change the level of thinking. But in Module 9, we cover fantastic information, things like job attitudes, looking at factors such as job involvement, organizational commitment, employee engagement, fantastic psychological concepts that apply in the world of work, such as cognitive dissonance, perception, things like attribution theory, social learning theory are something all managers should know something about. And we also have a focus here on personality. So all these factors, what managers need to know about these to be successful within the workplace. We've got exercises looking at Myers-Briggs, and a great TED Talk called The Power of Introverts. So some perhaps non-obvious things about the value of introverts within the workplace. So that's Chapter 9, Module 9. Chapter 10, Module 10, we jump into groups. Groups and teams. So we've seen that a little bit with our group decision-making chapter already. But some great things, interesting frameworks, different types of teams, for example, operating organizations. Good stuff here also. So this segment, this module covers one of my favorite exercises within the class. I'm asking you to go to Stanford's Entrepreneurship Corner, the E Corner, famous in my world, and do some searches, looking at their clips from the presentations that they host at Stanford with some of the world's greatest leaders and entrepreneurs. So I'm asking you to hit the clips, do a search on teams, team building, and see what some of the world's best managers and entrepreneurs have to say about how they've constructed their teams, how they think about teams, how they think about getting work done within organizations using team concepts, etc. So all good stuff. We do have another major assignment here. Your first reaction paper is due on Sunday. So I put a link right after Module 9, as part of Module 9, the last item there, where you can submit your reaction papers. So looking forward to a great week. Again, expectations are gone up tremendously for the quality of work that needs to be done on the discussion boards, especially follow-up posts. So looking forward to quality posts And as always, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm easy to get a hold of through email and respond to queries that way, or we can set up a phone call, whatever might work for you. All right, everybody, have a great week, and look forward to seeing your work.